I got a sign. I got not an epiphany. This wouldn't be an epiphany, but I got a sign from, call it the Almighty, call it the universe providing. I don't know. But the public opinion of what our two former co-hosts did is so like anti them and nasty and against them that it made me realize that maybe my approach all these years of just, getting angry and hammering people and stuff like that, instead of just going, hey, I can't make people like me. And sometimes when you tell it like it is, you're going to get hated for it. And when you piss people off, they're going to try and get their vengeance. And when they try to get their vengeance, they should probably find better conduits. But to see the public outreach, or not outreach, the public opinion be so, not like pro me, I'm not saying it's pro me, but all the people calling bullshit on this whole deal is, look, it makes me realize I don't really have to say anything or do anything. People see it. People get it for what it is. A lot of Amber Heard comparisons being thrown out there. How ironic that I got involved with Nick Rekieta and now I look like Johnny Depp. Very odd. It's like a Midas touch sort of thing, and everybody just turns into somebody facing fake, false accusations. But something really interesting happened with the Keanu deal. Now, I'm trying not to gloat because I am legit trying to be a better human being, and I'm succeeding. But boy, it gets tempting sometimes because Will Heron TV, who I think does a great job. I think as far as Clippers go, Elias Eclipse is number one, but Will Heron TV is right up there. Him and Stalin and those, they do a really good job because they don't take sides. They put everybody's stuff up there and let people decide. Unedited, uncut. I think they do a great job. I will say this, Will Heron TV posted something very interesting. It was a clip of Keanu. And she heard this from April. She said Aaron was involved in all of the things, the drugs, the swinging, as everyone else. Does anyone else see why April may have meant that as a private comment that wasn't to be shared publicly? Let me help you out a little bit. So Keanu goes, Aaron was just as involved in all the things as everyone else. And I'm sorry for my voice failing me right now. It's going away. I think I might be losing it. What is Nick's defense? Nick's defense is, I ain't copping to shit. They got to prove their case. I ain't copping to shit. I ain't saying I did. I ain't saying I was swinging. Now, that ain't a crime. He's like, I'm not saying shit. And then April, his girl, goes and squeals to Keanu that they're doing shit. Aaron was just as involved as everyone else. Now, I called this back when I was telling the truth about everything, and as I've been letting this stuff out, I called this. I said none of them are going to be able to address me without handcuffing themselves to me and making themselves guilty. They did it. They did it. And by the way, being just as involved as the rest of them, clearly not, as evidence of, let's say that every time they were in there ripping and doing and all this other, let's say I was in there doing it instead of sitting around being disgusted and terrified and just pissed that my wife has turned into this addicted different person and just being annoyed by it. Let's say I wasn't at home some of the times they were doing it, like getting ready for a little girl's birthday party while her stepmom just off and went to Wilmer. Let's say I wasn't doing that. Let's say I was just as involved. Let's say I wasn't out all day with the kids, tucking them in while texting April, hey, are you going to come say goodnight to the kids? Hey, are you going to be home to say goodnight to the kids? Hey, are you going to come hang out with the kids? Hey, we'd really like to spend time with you. Hey, I'd really like us to be a family tonight. Let's say she didn't get home till 11:30 and then acted like she was doing me a goddamn favor when she did. Let's say that didn't happen. And then let's say I confronted her on doing that night, and she got pissed and yelled at me and said I was a paranoid monster. You know, all the things Devin said, she said to him when he caught her kissing me in that lobby at that show. Let's say that didn't happen, Kiki. Let's say it didn't happen. If I was just as involved as them, let's accept it as fact. If I was just as involved in them as them, that still makes them guilty, you see. That still means that they did the things that they're publicly trying to deny they did. Stop revealing their lies on the air. Look, I have no love lost for any of these people. I do hope they get better. I do hope they improve their lives. I do believe that that means all of them going away from each other, but it's their journey. But, you know, so I have no love lost for these people, but like, don't go and like give away the game on them just because, you know, you bought you bought bad seeds and now you want to yell at me. I couldn't believe it. When I saw that Will Heron clip, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a disaster for all of them. And then I just kept saying to myself, stay on the high road, Imholt. Stay on that. Don't do it, Imholt. Stay on the high road. He said, first of all, the Johnny stuff was disgusting. And I agree. That's really some lowbrow shit. That's disappointing, ultimately. But he said, Keanu said that you're a piece of shit for taking your kids there. Yes, I am. I admitted that and said it was wrong. You do understand that their stepmother was just as responsible. She likes to give her a break because, well, she's just a stepmom. I'm sorry, when you decide to be a stepmom, you take on responsibility for those children. If she would have been there and she would have had the kids there and I wasn't there, guess what? I'd still lose the kids because the stepmother is considered a form of guardian parent. So her saying, oh, he took the kids there. Hey, sweetheart, you knew about that. I said it openly in front of God and everybody, admitted all my sins, went to confession, did the whole thing, unlike, the person you think is such an angelic truth teller. So I don't understand where the anger and outrage over that comes. Like I said, fixed my mistakes, admitted them, learned and got better. But you're right, I'm probably the piece of garbage. What was the other one? She thought it was wrong for me to hang out with my neighbor. Nick the Milkman said, I mean, are you so on the internet that you don't understand people are friends with their neighbors? Like, my neighbor is my very good friend. And yes, we hang out, and all of his children are my children's age. It's like a Norman Rockwell painting, my neighbor. I mean, where I live and the way our kids play and everything else, it's a goddamn slice of Americana. God, New York must just be a really shitty place to live if you hear he hangs out with his neighbors and his kids hang out with their neighbors. Yes, I'm sorry, guys, that's how real life works. I don't know what to tell you. So, look, people have I don't need to go into grave detail about, it's smashing people and feuds and shit like that. It looks like the internet has made its call, and its call is, it sounds like these two gals are full of shit.